I really don't care what happens to her at all. I don't care. Like everybody they tiptoe around with this social media, but what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all little flexes, y'all quick flexes for $300 that you need. It be consequences.
The moment was supposed to be joyful, but it ended in complete heartbreak. Teyana Taylor went live to share beautiful news with her fans, smiling wide, glowing with excitement, and surrounded by people she loved. But just minutes later, that joy turned into shock for someone watching quietly in the background, her ex, Iman Shumpert. He had no idea what was coming. He wasn't tagged, wasn't messaged, wasn't even warned. Yet there he was, watching like everyone else, when Tiana revealed something that stopped his world cold. "I'm pregnant," she said. And within minutes, Iman collapsed. It was all caught on camera, in real time, and fans are still shaken by what they saw. Tiana had been teasing the news for days. She dropped hints on Instagram, posted cryptic tweets, and built up hype like something big was coming. So when she finally went live, thousands of people tuned in instantly. The stream showed her in a cozy, candlelit setting with her friends, laughing and glowing. Then, with a deep breath and a soft smile, she finally said it, "I'm pregnant." The chat exploded. Fire emojis, hearts, congratulations poured in. People screamed with happiness in the comments, thinking this was a moment of pure celebration. But then something strange happened. In the list of viewers, people spotted a familiar name, Iman Shumpert. He was watching too. And just minutes later, another live stream, totally separate from Tiana's, showed the exact moment his heart broke. Iman had gone live earlier that same night with a friend, doing a casual split-screen chat. They were joking around, talking basketball, nothing serious. But midway through the conversation, Iman glanced at his phone. You could literally see his face change. His smile dropped, his body stiffened, and he said quietly, "You're joking, right?" His friend asked what was wrong, but Iman didn't answer. He leaned back in his chair, placed his hand on his head like he was trying to breathe, and then he slipped out of frame. Just disappeared. The screen froze. For a moment, there was silence. Then his friend started shouting, "Yo, Iman! Bro, are you good?" Viewers didn't know if he fainted, had a panic attack, or just shut off the live. But one thing was clear, he was not okay. The clip of Iman collapsing went viral within the hour. People started piecing it all together, comparing timestamps from Tiana's pregnancy announcement to Iman's reaction. It lined up perfectly. She went live. He watched. Then he collapsed. And that's when fans started remembering everything that led up to this moment. The interviews where Iman said he still had love for Tiana. The posts where he talked about healing and keeping his family together. He was never angry in public. Never messy. Just hopeful. Trying to move forward but still holding on. So when he found out she was pregnant, and didn't even tell him first, it wasn't just shocking. It was soul-crushing. It wasn't just about the baby. It was about being blindsided after everything they'd shared. People flooded social media with reactions. Some were confused, some heartbroken, some furious. One tweet said, "No man deserves to find out like that. My heart breaks for Iman." Another read, "Tiana, come on. That man deserved a phone call." Hashtags exploded, #poor Iman, #TianaWhy, #collapselive. The internet took sides instantly. Some defended Tiana, saying she has the right to share her joy however she wants. But others didn't hold back. "There's a difference between privacy and cruelty," one person commented. "You knew he still cared. You knew he'd be watching." It wasn't just about a pregnancy. It was about respect, about closure, and about how badly public moments can hurt when private pain is still fresh. Then came the part no one was ready for, Tiana's response. Hours later, she posted a single Instagram story. No video, no audio, just words on a black screen. "My peace, your perception." That was it. No apology, no acknowledgement of Iman. Just a line that sounded more like a wall than an explanation. Her team later gave a short statement saying she didn't mean to hurt anyone, and that she thought Iman already knew. But according to multiple sources close to him, he didn't. In fact, Those sources said he was blindsided, humiliated, and genuinely crushed. Fans started demanding more. Some called for a public apology. Others begged her to just call him. But by then, the damage was done, and the internet had already picked its sides. The theories came fast. As soon as the clip surfaced, fans began analyzing every detail, pausing and rewinding, trying to make sense of what they had just witnessed. A split second of footage turned into hours of commentary, endless threads, and heated debates. Some believed Tiana had done it on purpose, that her decision to go live, or to post whatever she posted, was deliberate. Not just a moment of personal news, but a message. A signal that she had officially moved on, and she wasn't looking back. According to this camp, it wasn't about cruelty, it was about closure. Her way of reclaiming her story, taking control after a very public breakup. But even those who saw it that way had to admit one thing: the timing couldn't have been worse. Others rejected that theory entirely. They said maybe Tiana didn't know Iman would be watching. Maybe it was innocent. Just a post. Just a stream. Maybe it had nothing to do with him, and everything to do with where she is now in her life. They pointed out how the internet always wants to make things bigger than they are, to read meaning into moments that are just life. And then there were people who took a darker turn. They looked at Iman's reaction, his collapse, his silence, the way his body seemed to give out, and said this wasn't just emotional. That maybe it was physical too. That what we all saw in that clip wasn't just a man feeling hurt. It was a panic attack. A breakdown. A moment where his body stopped because the pain became too much to carry. These fans zeroed in on everything. The way he dropped. The way he didn't immediately respond to his surroundings. The way his friend's voice shifted, from laughing and teasing to scared and serious in a matter of seconds. For those who were watching closely, it was clear, this wasn't for attention. It wasn't performative. It wasn't clout chasing or an act to get sympathy. It was real. Undeniably, painfully real. And that's what made it hit even harder. Not the drama itself, but the authenticity of his collapse. The rawness of his pain. And what made it worse, what really stirred up the internet, was that no one seemed to step in, at least not publicly. No one wrapped an arm around him. No one went live to say, "He's okay." The silence was loud. Too loud. And then, the rumors came in like a flood. Whispers turned into posts. Posts turned into articles. The focus shifted from Iman's collapse to questions about the baby. Who's the father? Is it Tiana's rumored new partner? Is this all connected? And deeper than that, darker than that, people started asking questions about the timeline. About the months leading up to the announcement. About the end of Tiana and Iman's relationship and how quickly everything moved after. Some fans started to wonder, was there overlap? Others asked more painfully, was Iman the last to know again? That possibility stung, not just because of what it would say about the situation, but because of what it would mean for the man who had just been publicly broken. The man who, according to many, had tried so hard to be mature, to handle the split with dignity, to put his daughter first. And that's where the conversation turned next, to the daughter, to the little girl caught in the middle of all of this. Because it's one thing for adults to navigate breakups, new relationships, complicated emotions. But when a child is involved, everything changes. Fans began to ask the hard questions. How does a child process a moment like this? What does she feel, knowing that her parents' lives are being dissected in real time by millions of strangers? That her father's heartbreak is now viral content? That people she doesn't even know are forming opinions about her family, about her future? And that's what hit the deepest nerve. Not just the gossip. Not just the shock. But the emotional aftermath that no one could clean up. The kind of emotional fallout that sticks with a child long after the internet forgets. Because this wasn't just a post. It wasn't just a story or a live stream. It was a moment where healing fell apart. Where grace unraveled. Iman, by all accounts, had tried. He had stepped back. He had given space. He had stayed quiet when he could have spoken out. He had shown up for his daughter, shown respect in public, avoided drama. He had done everything people say you're supposed to do when love ends. But in one very public moment, all of that effort felt like it got pulled out from under him. Whether Tiana intended it or not, her decision reopened a wound that maybe had never really healed. It wasn't just about her moving on, it was about the way it happened. The way it felt like the world was watching as a man unraveled in real time. And now, that moment lives online forever. A digital scar. A video that can be replayed, reposted, reinterpreted 1,000 times. A moment that their daughter will one day find, no matter how hard anyone tries to bury it. And what will she see? Her father in pain. Her family in chaos. Strangers arguing about her life like it's a storyline in a show. That's a burden no child should have to carry. That's a kind of hurt that doesn't go away with time or explanations or apologies. It lingers. It settles into the background of a life and changes the way a child sees love, trust, and stability. Now, the world is holding its breath. People are watching. Waiting. Will Tiana say something? Will she explain what happened? Was it planned? Was it an accident? Will Iman ever speak about what really happened in those quiet moments after the stream ended? What was said off camera? How did he feel once the shock wore off and the cameras stopped recording? No one knows. Maybe they'll both choose silence. Maybe they'll issue statements. Or maybe, like so many other messy, painful stories, this one will fade from the trending list, only to resurface when something new happens. But one thing is certain, the internet won't forget. Not this. The pain was too visible. The emotion too raw. The reaction too human. And if there's any lesson to be pulled from this mess, it's this: some news should never be shared live. Some updates aren't meant for an audience. Some moments deserve quiet. Deserve protection. Deserve love that's gentle and private. Because when the camera's rolling, pain doesn't hide. And when hearts break in real time, it's not just the people on screen who feel it, we all do. If you were Iman, how would you handle hearing something so big, so deeply personal, right in front of the world? Would you forgive? Would you walk away? Did Tiana truly cross a line? Or was it just horribly bad timing? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments. This story hit hard for a reason. So if you felt something watching it unfold, hit that like button and show some love. And don't forget to subscribe, because real stories like this don't just disappear. They grow, evolve, and sometimes, they even heal. But only if we're watching, learning, and feeling every step of the way.